Do you think YouTube is being unfair these days to content creators like yourself? I can understand why you guys would ask me a question like this, because you have seen my ups and downs, more of my downs than anything, because I do overshare sometimes. I am very negative lately and I'm trying to change that. But when it comes to people staying on my channel, growing an audience, things like that, most of it is my fault, because even a little bit of negativity can leave a bad taste in someone else's mouth. So my attitude plays a role, and also my niche. Not a lot of people are into the minimalist, live with less lifestyle. Consumerism is a lot more popular, and I'm not here to judge, but consumerism channels get promoted a lot more because they're promoting products, and that's what advertisers want to see. So yeah, I don't blame YouTube for what's going on with my channel. I just need to work harder and stop oversharing. And that's another thing, I share far too much of, like, when it comes to like my bad days or things with YouTube or just personal issues, I overshare too much, and I'm learning to zip my lips and just not share that much, because even though some of you guys have great intentions, you know, and love and support for me, not everyone is going to have good intentions when it comes to the tiny bit of like negativity that I share on my channel. But no, I don't think YouTube is being unfair. Favorite product at the moment, I was using the regular native deodorant, and then I started getting lymph nodes under my armpits, and also my armpits were so red. I went to the doctor's and she told me I can't use baking soda. So I switched over to the sensitive deodorant from Native. It is amazing. It is so much better than the other one that I was using from them. And even when I'm working out, because I started working out again, when I put that deodorant on in the morning and then I work out, normally I would start to smell with the other Native deodorant, because natural deodorant is a little iffy, especially when you're working out and sweating. But the sensitive skin one has been working so well for me. It is so worth the money. It's pricey. I think it's like $13, but it is amazing. And I don't smell like BO when I'm working out, or even with cleaning the house. There were times where I would be cleaning the house and I smelled because I'm sweating. So when switching over to a natural deodorant, it is really hard to find the one that works for your body. So take your time when it comes to those kind of products. I have been trying to search for the perfect natural deodorant for 3 years, and I finally found it, and I'm not letting it go. How do you deal with setbacks? When it comes to setbacks for myself, it is very easy for me to just cry about it. I'm a very emotional person. I don't know if it's to do with my sign. I am a Cancer, but I take things very seriously, especially when it comes to constructive criticism. I take it as like negative feedback, which I shouldn't, but I do. But anyways, how I deal with setbacks is I try to do the things that I love. Watch a favorite show, I'll take a nap, and then the next morning I'll wake up and try again. So that's what I've been doing instead of like sulking in my tears. Not every day is the same, I'm not gonna lie. There's sometimes I do still cry with my setbacks, because with my YouTube career, I thought my career was gonna be better after quitting my full-time job, and it's just been a little bit difficult to make more money, and not just make more money, but build a wider audience. Yeah, there's a lot of things I do in order to deal with my setbacks, but the number one thing I do is I try to do something that relaxes me, like watch a movie, play with this little guy right here, take a nap with him, and then start over the next day. Will you ever stop making minimalist content or ways to save content and switch to becoming a lifestyle vlogger? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I am running out of ideas when it comes to minimalist content and saving money tips and tricks. Take in consideration, I have almost 600 videos on my channel, and more than half of those videos are minimalist content and saving money tips. So you have to really think like, all right, how much more can I talk about with decluttering? How much more can I talk about with how to save money on low income when I do the same thing all the time? So over time, it has become repetitive, and a lot of you guys have noticed I've been repeating myself over and over again, and sometimes I forget. Like for an example, the other day I wanted to do like a laundry routine, even though it's not a minimalist video. But I went on my channel just to check if I've done that kind of video before in this apartment, and to my surprise I did. So it's hard for me to remember all the videos I have done, but best believe I'm running out of ideas for minimalist content and for saving money content, and when that happens I will switch over to more Q&As, vlogging, more real life stuff instead of constant minimalist content. Even though I know like a lot of you guys have come here for my minimalist content, but there's just so much you can talk about over and over and over again before it becomes repetitive. Will you live in Boston when you buy your house? So I have a quick answer because I'm not going to go into detail with our personal life. When we do buy a house, I will show you guys and let you know, but I'm not going to be showing the process or anything like that. Again, I'm trying to keep certain things in my life more private than how I was before. But we have sat down and we've talked about moving outside of Boston because it is just too expensive here. If you guys think I'm over exaggerating, you can look up how much houses are in Boston, Mass on your own. You can go on those realtor apps. You can even see how much an apartment like this can easily go for $2 million in the city. So needless to say, living in the city is very, very pricey. So we are looking at houses out of the city, so that way we are not paying an arm and a leg for a house. Best way to minimize screen time. The best way that I minimize my screen time is I put my phone on D&D and I put it in a cabinet that I'm least likely to go to all the times. So for an example, at nighttime I will put my phone on D&D. I do not sleep with my phone anymore. My main alarm is this guy right here, because once when 7 a.m. comes, he is meowing like crazy. That's my alarm. So I don't need my phone anymore, and Milo wakes us up every day on the dot. So with that all being said, I keep my phone in the spice cabinet. I'll put it right next to the spices on D&D, and it won't be in my bedroom. So when I wake up in the morning, I don't run to it. I'll go to the bathroom, I'll hang out with him, talk to my boyfriend, and then I will go to my phone later on, when I get myself together. So that's the best way that I think to like how to minimize screen time, is hide your damn phone and put it on D&D. That way you don't hear notifications and you're not like wanting to run to it right away. Even though the notification might be something random, the minute you look at that notification, then you start scrolling on Instagram and YouTube, and before you know it, 5 hours have passed and you still have that damn phone in your hands. So yeah, hide your phone. That's the best way to minimize screen time. Favorite song at the moment. So my favorite song at the moment, let me pull it up for you guys. Pink Pantheress, I think that's how you say her name, with Ice Spice, and the song is called The Boy's a Liar Part 2. I always have all my songs and things that I'm listening to on my Spotify. You guys can follow me down below. I have a little link there. What's your dream home style? It is pretty cliche because I do like the minimal, aesthetic, neutral vibe, a little bit of modern, a little bit of greenery in there. But obviously this is not reality, it's my dream, because my reality won't look like this. Obviously my boyfriend has his own taste and style. I also have cat stuff, and we do plan on getting another cat in the far future and then having kids in the far, far future. So obviously our house will not look like this, but it's just my little dream style. What do you think of flex culture and the way influencers become not relatable anymore after they make it? Not saying that flex culture and not being relatable is a problem. The problem is that people like you guys that are watching, it's very, very easy to judge someone's life with just the little bit they give you on their vlogs and things like that. So you're only seeing like a tiny snip of these people's lives. Obviously, if someone's showing a bunch of diamonds, designer shoes, or whatever it is, and you're not into that, that doesn't mean that they're wrong for showing it. It just means that you're not into it. So go find yourself a content creator to watch that you're into, and just let that person be. Let them show the things that they bought, because that's the life that they want to live. So that's my whole thing with flexing, if that's how you put it. But the other part with not feeling relatable, I have dealt with this numerous times with being on the online world. The biggest problem that I dealt with was when I worked a regular job. Everybody was talking about how relatable I was because I'm a dishwasher in the morning and then a waitress in the afternoon. I was so relatable. Look at her working hard. She's not your typical vlogger showing how she makes money with just YouTube. And then the minute I quit my full-time job, the amount of nasty comments I got with doing YouTube full-time, don't get me wrong, I do have a negative side of me, but the whole point of like me not being relatable anymore because of the job title I have is crazy. And the funny thing about all this is I am making the exact same amount of money with YouTube as I was with my full-time old job, and people still say like I'm unrelatable, this is not a real job, blah 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 blah. What you might find not relatable, someone else might find relatable. And I just don't think that we should be judging others of how much money others make or what's their job title. I will be honest with you guys, I watch a lot of vloggers like Aaliyah's Face, McKenna Waka. Like, these girls make 10 times more money than I make. They buy designer brands, and I still like their channel. Like, I still like their videos. I watch their videos all the time. I consume their content because I like their personalities and their realness. So I'm not going to judge these girls because they're buying designer brands, even though I'm a minimalist and they have a house filled with Amazon packages. Like, I'm not going to judge these girls for the things that they worked hard for. Like, they're spending their hard-earned money on things that they want to. I'm not going to judge people for that, not just these girls. Moral of the story, someone might not be relatable to you, but it might be relatable to someone else. So instead of leaving a harsh comment, or instead of saying like, oh, this person's not relatable anymore because they make 6 figures, go find someone to watch that is relatable. Just don't waste your time with someone that you think is not. Everybody is different. And I've never ever judged a content creator or an influencer because I know how hard this freaking job is. With the negative comments alone, it can put a huge damper on your day, never mind the money. So think twice before commenting on someone else's video saying, oh, you're not relatable anymore, or you flex too much. Did you ever think in your mind that that's what that person wants to do with their lives or how they want to spend their own money? I always say this: if you're going to say something mean to someone, before saying something mean or typing something mean, look in the mirror and say that mean thing that you were going to say to someone else. See if you will say it to yourself. I guarantee you, you will not talk like that to yourself. How is your mental health doing? I will say that my mental health is doing pretty well these days, ever since I started to be a little bit more positive with myself, with my weight, not oversharing as much with being online, and trying to make my platform a little bit more positive. Yeah, so I think my mental health is doing a lot better than it was 2 to 3 months ago. What vitamins do you take? So I take 3 vitamins right now, B12, vitamin C, and vitamin D3. Those are the vitamins that were showing in my blood work that I was low. So I always get blood work done at least twice a year. Since I eat a plant-based diet, I do check my blood work twice a year with my doctor. So if you guys want to see the actual vitamins that I consume, I will have them linked down below. I take spray vitamins, and then I take a gummy vitamin. Because I have a hard time taking pills, so those are the vitamins that work for me, is the spray type and gummies. Best hair care advice you ever received? So I take after my mom, and my sisters take after my father's side. I have wavy, frizzy, curly hair, and the products that they were using as a kid, I tried using them as well because I thought that we were the same because we were sisters. But the products that they were using made my hair even worse and even more puffier because they were using products with volume. I mean, this is day 4 old hair, that's why it's up, but I get enough volume with my hair. You guys have seen my natural hair, and yeah, the products that they were using weren't working for me. So the best advice I ever received, I believe it was from my sister-in-law, because she's been doing my hair since I was 16. She is a professional hairstylist. She owns her own salon. I remember her saying, what works for someone else with products might not work for you. So it's always trial and error when it comes to hair products. Why doesn't your boyfriend help out more with things around the house and bills? I get this question a lot. I even get, not even just this question, but I get people assuming that my boyfriend doesn't help out, doesn't cook, doesn't clean. You guys are only seeing a little snip of my daily life. I choose not to share my boyfriend's life or show him. He personally doesn't want to be on camera, and I respect that. And I remember recording a Q&A with him back in 2020. That video is private now because I kind of forced him to record that video. And now that I'm older, even though it was only 3 years ago, I realized, like, he doesn't want to be online. What was I doing trying to force someone that doesn't want to be online? It's so silly. But yeah, people tend to forget that this is my channel. It's Kira Ann's channel, not Kira and her boyfriend or Kira and her family. I go through my fair share of horrible, nasty comments, and it definitely makes me think twice on who I share on my channel. So with that being said, my boyfriend does help out. My boyfriend does cook me dinner. If I'm busy working, he will cook dinner. He will make lunch. He will clean the house. He takes care of Milo so much. Like when I'm not around, or even when I'm taking a nap because I'm stressed out, he feeds him. He brushes him. He gives him medicine if Milo's on medicine. Obviously, he's not on medicine now, but needless to say, my boyfriend is always there to lend a helping hand, and he helps out so much with the bills. The amount of bills my boyfriend pays is insane. He has his mortgage to pay for at his 3-tenement property. He has his mom to take care of. He has other people and other family members in DR to take care of. He has half of this rent, the internet bill, the phone bill. There's so many other bills that my boyfriend is paying for, not to mention student loan, taxes. I just choose not to talk about his finances or him period on my channel because I want to keep certain things in my life private. I'm kind of like protecting the people I love in my life from the negative side of the online world, if that makes any sense. So best believe my boyfriend is the most amazing support system I've ever had in my entire life, and we work as a team. We never ever work against each other. And don't get me wrong, we do have our days where we argue, but we always talk it out at the end of the day or the next day. So to answer that question, my boyfriend helps out a lot, you guys. Keep in mind, not just with my videos, but even with other vloggers, you're only seeing a tiny bit of that person's life. You're not seeing the whole story. So don't be quick to judge. Anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. Let me know down below if you want me to continue these type of Q&As or you want me to continue more girl talk Q&As. Also, if you would like to leave a question down below for the next video, please do so. I always screenshot questions to add to future Q&As or future girl talk Q&As. So like I said, thank you for spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next video.